Thank you very much. So, the next 25 minutes I want to show you how we do CRO at Transavia. And I want to inspire you to look at problems that, like we did and to see how you can overcome them. I think most of the problems when you start up a CRO in your organization are the same, and we encounter the same things. So I just want to get you through our journey and to hopefully inspire you to help you on your way. So I will try to do that by answering a few questions, or maybe to help you solve your problems. So one of the most common problems is, do you have trouble convincing people in your organization to start CRO? And anybody here got problems with that? Few people, but the rest has maybe already started doing it. So you do a test, you see great results, but then it gets on a backlog. It doesn't get built because of bigger things. It gets pushed off the backlog. I see hands over there. Amen. Great. Fighting for resources, about the same thing. Fighting for budget and having trouble implementing CRO in already existing agile organization. So how did it start for Transavia? In 2004, we started building a new website. So our old website was the one on the left. I hope you have already seen that. And it was really old architecture built on Lotus Notes web content management. So that says it all. We couldn't test, we couldn't we couldn't personalize, we couldn't be relevant to the customer, and we couldn't build to the future. So we started building a new website with new infrastructure. But the first year, we only focused on getting the functionalities from old site to the new site. We didn't have any time or focus to look at the specific functionalities and to see if we can optimize them. So we got functionalities that were working properly on the day we built them, but we weren't testing them to see if people are really liking it and using it. And then I tried to set up an optimization process to see if we can change it. And the goals of that optimization process were, of course, generating more revenue, getting better results, but generating better results on customer satisfaction. We believe that the customer is our main priority, and we need to listen, and we don't need to tell them what they buy. We need to ask them, what do you want from us? And we want to do that by being relevant. And how are we going to do those things? We're going to experiment, and we're going to learn, and we're going to share these learnings throughout the organization. How did we start with this? I don't know if you have the same thing, but when I came to the management, I said, okay, guys, I need a budget for a new process, for new optimizations, and I need this amount, but I cannot tell you what I'm going to get in return. So they told me, you're crazy, and let's do something different. So I thought of a different thing. I thought of a process to start really small and to isolate it. We started with a proof of concept. I needed a small budget to perform, to select a tool that could help us do some A/B testing. We needed a partner to get us starting, to learn us about the process, to look in our organizations how to implement it. We're just going to do 4 simple tests. And after that, we're going to evaluate the partner, tool, processes, and resources we should need for this. And those 4 tests, and I think the whole budget was somewhere about 20,000–30,000 euros, and it generated us more than 4 million extra revenue uplift. And you just cannot argue with those facts. And if you show them the money, it gets a bit easier to start you on your way. Let me tell you something about the commercial organization, how it's being built in Transavia, how we do things, and where CRO now is. So we have 4 bases that are all plotted around the customer journey. My base, where Operate is based direct, we do all of the communications with the direct booking passengers, and we sell the tickets. And there we have base partner and base passenger, and they explain themselves. And in every base we have a couple of crews, and the crews have a couple of specialists. So, and the specialist, like Stuart was saying, we have, for example, several specialists, like communication specialists, who work in different bases, but need to align on bigger levels. So that's why we created also fleets across the whole organization, so we know that we're working on the same things. And those fleets are communication fleet, product development fleet, a data fleet, and maybe a new fleet soon to come. How does our base direct look like? This is actually an image I also show my friends to explain them what I do. Because when I asked my mother what I do, she said, okay, you're working with computers, you're in IT, and I'm having a hard time explaining what I'm actually doing. I don't know if this is also the case for you. So I explained them. We have one crew that attracts customers to our website or visitors to our website, and we have another crew who converts the visitors to customers. And the percentage of that we want to get as high as possible. Simple, right? Maybe you can use it also to show to your family. And when we zoom in to see what kind of disciplines we have in our CRO team or shop team, we have an almost autonomous team now to perform experiments and to do testing and to improve on our functionalities and services and products. So we have a product developer who looks into the product, in the proposition, are we offering the right stuff to the right people? We have a conversion specialist who sets up the A/B testing and does the knowledge base thing. Data specialist who provides us insights and does analysis of the experiments. Content specialist, front-end developer, and two things we still don't have, but we are going to get this year, and then we will be a fully autonomous API specialist and a back-end developer. And then we are not relying anymore on different departments in Transavia. We can do everything ourselves. And that's really important because I think CRO is not a department, it's a state of mind, or it's a mindset. And it's very cheesy, I think, but it's the truth. And we try to implement this in every single fiber of our organization. But because it's this cheesy, the first 3 people who tweet it with this hashtag will get a goodie bag when they leave this room. So please, if you want a goodie bag, try it. Something about the process. How do we do CRO? I will show you first our old process, how we started off. It started off with an idea or a hypothesis. It will get on an overall development backlog. It will get lost somewhere there. Then there will be some kind of a prioritization process where we prioritize vague business cases versus factual tests we did. And it will always result in fighting and not getting what you want for either one of the sides. So. Our current process is a bit different, so we start off with an idea and we encourage everybody from our whole organizations to come up with ideas. And I think that's very, very important because when you work in digital, in CRO, or in e-commerce for a while, you may be over-focused on similar things that other people see and you don't see. For example, my girlfriend is a cabin attendant at Transavia, and because she's pregnant now, she cannot fly anymore, and she works on the ground and she helps people board the plane. And she told me, we're having great difficulties handling all of the small hand luggage because the plane is getting full, people need to check them in afterwards, and people are getting pissed. And they should. And what was the underlying problem? That we have made, of course, paid luggage, the hold luggage, you need to pay for it, so people are bringing free hand luggage and you're creating a problem. And now we are going to do the test. What happens if you offer 10 kilograms of free hold luggage to some people? And that's information that normally would not have reached me, and now it has reached me because of my girlfriend, but we try to empower all of our employees to come up with these ideas to perfect our functionalities and products. So then it comes from the optimization backlog. We do some prioritization to see what things are we going to build, what not. We do some prototyping, and we do analysis where we use the results to save it in our knowledge base to see what tests we have done, what we have not done, what we have learned, and what we can use for what. And when you're in the luxury position like Stuart at Booking.com, which is great, obvious, because you have 400 developers and you can afford yourself to do the same test again, we cannot do that, so we try to pick out the cases with the most value. Obviously, the tests that win go on a general backlog with factual business case and now do get built. So the activities here in this process with the dotted line are activities that we currently are doing, but we're doing with help from external organizations. We do not have, like I told you, we do not have the resources now to do it ourselves, but we do it. And what we're going to do, hopefully beginning of next year, we're going to change it to the new process, and the new process will be the same process, maybe a bit different, but the role of our partner will move to a strategic one. And we want all of those capabilities in our team. And that leads me to the Holy Grail process in my case, because if we could create a CRO fleet with a specific team of optimizing every functionality and product in all of our bases, I think that would be the perfect way to go. Because we now focus on optimizing our digital products on our website, but we have all kinds of different communication channels we use now for the customer. It's not only the website. And that's why I said, today the website, tomorrow the world. This is our check-in computer on our airport, and people used it to check in. And also here, we expect a conversion for a customer. Also here, we expect the best user experience. And why not use your capabilities you have in your digital team to optimize this? We have an app on board. We have some kind of local Wi-Fi on our airplanes, which allows people to connect and to buy stuff and to see stuff and to use our different digital channels. Also there, we need to use our digital capabilities to improve it. And we've started with experimenting with voice. We've made the first API that can communicate with the Amazon Alexa. In the near future, we will, of course, start with the Google Home. How do we come with our input for our optimization stories? So, of course, data will show us where our chances are. Our knowledge base, we are building now so that we can monitor everything we have done until now and to see where we can use it in the future. But I think one of the most undervalued components is, just like I said now, is our employees. So we really try to give, to encourage them to give their feedback so that we can see if they have some good ideas, because all of our flying crew and the cabin attendants, a cockpit and a technical department, all of them have at least one good idea that could bring us forward. One of the more newer input we have is we have a partner that helps us in doing research, user research, and it's really cool because we ask the users to do a specific task on our website with a brain sensor, so we can monitor their brain activities while using specific tasks or functionalities on our website. So this will not only show us will the passenger convert or will the customer convert, but in what way. So we can be really aggressive and we can make them convert, but leave them with a bad feeling. And that's something we don't want. So it looks something like this. So in this case, we asked, I'm not sure what the assignment was, but we asked them to, I think, create a My Transavia account. And you can see the eye tracking with the red dots, the blue dot the green dot is the mouse, and in the bottom you can see the brain waves. And we have attention, we have frustration, and we have excitement, I think, yeah. And the red one is, I think, the frustration. It's really cool because you can see the peak here coming up. And when does it come up? Hang on. Yeah, here it comes. Yeah, so they get an error when filling in their date of birth. So, yeah, so we gain some extra insights from this, not only focusing purely on conversion, but also looking at the customer satisfaction. Next slide, please. Yeah, so we also have still some challenges left. The first challenge is how to balance what we call innovation and optimization. So there are a few things we are building now, we have built and we will be building that do not bring money tomorrow. For instance, we have just released a new account. And helpful as it is, it will not generate revenues when we put it live. But we need it to be to give personalized content. We need it to create a better app, and we need it to be more relevant. And how do you balance that versus a story that you can put live tomorrow and it will generate you hundreds of thousands of euros more? So there needs to be a balance, and we're still working it out, but I think we're on the right way. Then a big challenge for us is also local markets. When we do a test, we see that it often works perfect on one market and not at all, or maybe negative in a different market. Where do you put the line in making a website or digital channel so complex that you don't have an overview anymore? Because if you are going to personalize every flow for every language, for every customer, you need also organizations that can cope with that. And of course, I have some examples of some cool tests we did, I think, last week. I want to share with you. So we have a luggage page, and this is a mobile luggage page. And what you see here is you can select per person the kilos of hold luggage you want to bring. And you can see the red dotted line is the forward line of the iPhone 6. So people were functionally seeing nothing except for some content about your hand luggage. We created two new designs. And the first one, you can just simply, it's a bit smaller and you can select your luggage with a plus button or minus button. And the one besides that, you can swipe through all kinds of hold luggage options. And which one won? Anybody? The right one, the swipe one? So actually the middle one won. And it created 8.4% higher attach rate than the original one. The right one also did better, but this one was far better. Another one, our payments page. So this was our original payment page, and you can select your payment method here and then make your payment. And we tested this versus this solution, where it's a bit smaller and it fits on one page, and it's more clear. So which design won? Yeah, so the right one won, and we created 2.3% more conversions just by changing this. We tested this for our French website and a Dutch website, and we forgot to switch the order of our payment methods. So it really did bad in France, but when we switched it in the right order from big payment method to small one, it worked perfectly. And there's a sneak peek we're going to release next week, I hope. We're doing a cooperation with the TripAdvisor, so we're going to show the ratings for every of our flights next to it. So you can not only see the time and the flight number and the price, but you can also see how other people have reviewed your flight. And this is a mobile version. So check out our website next week and let me know what you think about it. Our learnings, yeah. I really hope you got inspired by the things how we did it, but it's not worth it to just copy it, because we didn't copy it because every organization should have its own form of CRO. There's not one way to do it. And maybe you're doing it differently, but you're not doing it wrong. You need to adapt it so your organization can work with it. And maybe you start small and you go bigger, but do it in your own pace. And there certainly are some best practices, but don't just copy. And try to activate your employees to generate input and support for your CRO, for your optimizations. Try to get dedicated resources, at least in the beginning, just to get starting, not only by testing things, but also building it. And make use of the full potential of your team, because there are more capabilities in it than you already know. So think about that. Next step. So we're perfecting our building and perfecting our knowledge base. We aim to this year create all of the capabilities we need to operate fully autonomous, just like API and backend development. And we want to duplicate this for other bases, so that we also can optimize different channels like our check-in computers at the airport or maybe the tablet experience aboard. Create a return on experiment budget. So we have a certain we have a certain budget for our CRO activities, but we need to keep looking at, is the money spent on CRO still the best way to do it? And for the coming years, of course it is, but it's important to see what's the best way to generate more income and the best user experience for your money. And of course, page speed. We are really dedicated to get us right this year. We try to do so. We did a test last week where 2 weeks ago, where we disabled all of our tagging, all of our pixels, all of our tags on the website, and we saw some huge changes in page speed and conversion. So not only the big companies like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google are experiencing that, we are also experiencing it, and you will experience it also. So try to experiment also with page speed. Thank you.
Vanja, thank you again for your generosity in coming and sharing your learnings with your peers. So lots of questions. I'm particularly interested to know when you're going to build. No, I'm joking. I won't be on there for sure. But any questions from the floor before we go digital? Look, just let the man have a throw. Come on. A question, if only for that, from the back, perhaps. You know, there we go.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, an easy start.
Yeah. Regarding your testing on the payment page, how long it lasts for you, the test? Because usually it requires a lot of deployment and development. So what was the average time you were testing?
So the length of the test for a payment page?
Yeah.
2 weeks.
2 weeks only?
Yes.
And the shorter test was the winner?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, because I genuinely believe that, I don't know who said it at the beginning of the day, that we're too easy with making responsive websites that show all of the content but on a smaller screen. Mm-hmm. It looks great, but it's really irrelevant. We need to start thinking mobile and to show the relevant functionalities for the relevant device. And not only thinking to make it show good.
And did you test in all the markets or just your main market?
Normally we get the biggest markets we have, like France and the Netherlands, and we see what it does there. And then if it's okay, we test on other markets to see if it could do any harm or maybe improve. But our maybe 80% of our revenues come from those 2 markets.
Awesome. The classic 3-part question there. So you've, but I think actually you've asked a few of them. Any more? Any more from the? Going to test the man's arm a bit further? Oh, there we go. It's aggressive. Oh, good throw.
Thank you, Vanja. So my question is, why do you need an API developer in your team? Why is that necessary?
Good question. So we want to do more and more with persuasion. So I can give you a concrete example. We want to use an API that shows us how many seats are left for a specific flight for a specific price. Not only to try to persuade people to buy the ticket, but also to prevent people telling me, I was looking at your website at the flight, I left, I came back, and the price was higher. Because we don't look at your cookie or whatever, the lower price is just sold out. To create this API, to get these numbers, we now depend on a different department who's working in a different cadence, and we need a lot of time to get it done. By pulling those capabilities into the team, we are not dependent anymore on them, and we can make these experiments much faster than waiting on them.
Okay, clear. Thanks.
Good stuff. Thank you. Let's have it back. See you. There we go. Oh. Nice one. Cool. So I think some of these questions may have been answered, actually. So the most supported question, how do you deal with successful tests in one country's website? Do you roll it out to other countries? But I don't know whether you covered that there, but if there's anything to add to that.
It's a good question, and we're still finding that out. But if we see that it works for our best markets, our biggest markets, we will check on smaller markets if it doesn't do any negative impact. And if the negative impact is small or none, we will also introduce it there. If it's very negative, we will try and figure it out depending on the laws to make it specific for that market.
Lovely, cool. How do you keep employees continuously motivated to share ideas if only a small amount of the ideas will be developed via the backlog?
Yeah, that's a great question, and we're looking at new ways to do that. We have one session every month where we speak, where we call it the know-how sessions, and everybody from the whole company is invited, pilots, cabin attendants, technical department, everyone, and then someone speaks about their achievements in the last few months. And more and more we are speaking about CRO to showing people what kind of improvement a small change in a website can do. And that really generates an output of ideas and really get them motivated to create an input for us.
Lovely, awesome. So another one here, let's see what we got. How do you determine what test represents what value?
What test represents what value? I think the financial value or...
that's all I've got here, so I don't know if anyone wants to elaborate, if there is there, or whether you can...
But that's a good question, because we are mainly focused on generating financial value while optimizing some other functionalities to create a better user experience is often underrated. And I think we need to create a balance to do both. For instance, the functionality to email yourself your boarding card instead of downloading now will not generate not €1 more, but it will create a better user experience and maybe by that also a better revenue in the future.
Good. Any more for the throw box? Any more? Oh, there we go. Oh, mind your head, sorry.
You were mentioning as a next step you want to have a knowledge sharing tool.
Yeah.
Which tool are you going to use for that? And can I have a two-part?
Oh, go on.
And which people, which roles will be allowed to add to it, to the knowledge?
Thank you. So there are a few known tools right now in the market, like effective experiments, that are really great, I think. So it will be that kind of tool. We're now looking at building our own tool, but we'll still need to see what the added value is to keep that tool alive for years and years versus buying an existing tool. And everybody is allowed. So we want to use that knowledge base also as input for people to generate their ideas and to send them in. And also to see what has been done with the ideas to keep motivated. Because if you receive an email of someone with an idea and you never let somebody know what you've done with it, people will not send you another one again. So we want to include as much as possible of our employees.
Awesome, all good. Thank you again for coming and sharing so much with us, folks. Please show appreciation. Thank you. Thank you.